Let's dive right into this explainer. We're unpacking a chilling psychological thriller called The Bororo Woman's Debt. It's set in 1980s Madaguri, and if you're the kind of person who loves stories that just peel back the layers of a seemingly perfect life to reveal the dark, festering secrets underneath, well, you're going to be absolutely captivated by this. Today, we're mapping out a truly tragic collision between two mothers. It's a story defined by privilege, unpunished crimes, and a devastating quest for vengeance. Let's get right into it.
To really grasp how the tension builds here, we gotta start by setting the scene. It's an idyllic, sunny day in 1980s Maiduguri that totally lulls us into a false sense of security. The weather's warm, the kids are behaving, and our main character, Doshima, is soaking up a rare moment of absolute peace. You know the kind of day, right? Where it feels like nothing could possibly go wrong. But, as we always see in stories like this, a perfect day is almost always just the calm before a catastrophic storm.
I wish everything was as perfect as this all the time. That quote from Doshima really captures her fragile status quo. She's a teacher, just enjoying a quiet afternoon, humming to herself, painting her nails bright red. Her husband is literally fast asleep in the parlor, snoring over an empty beer glass and the BBC radio. She's got time to think, time to plan her lessons, time to just breathe. I want you to hold on to this image of pure domestic bliss, because the story uses this intense comfort to make the impending horror so much more jarring.
So this peaceful bubble is completely popped when Doshima's youngest, little Ivram, spots a stranger out at the gate. And she's not doing anything, just standing there, watching. She leaves this musky, smoky scent in the air. This is Zaina, the Bororo woman. She's striking, displaying traditional Bororo features, a nomadic Fulani group. She's got her hair parted into 4 sections, black coal running down her forehead to her chin. But the thing that really locks Doshima in, Zaina's eyes. They're this translucent blue-gray, totally hypnotizing. Doshima is so caught up in this woman's beauty that she completely misses the massive red flag of a stranger just staring fixedly at her house.
Doshima kind of snaps out of her trance and learns Zaina is a traveling hair plaiter. And right here is the fatal misstep. Doshima absent-mindedly agrees to let Zaina come back the following Sunday to plait her daughter's hair. It's just this casual, everyday transaction. Come back next Sunday. But with those words, man, Doshima has absolutely no idea she just invited a devastating reckoning right into her home. She literally swung the front door wide open for her own dark past to finally catch up with her.
They are often layered like matryoshka dolls. This brilliantly highlights the dramatic irony we're dealing with. Doshima's 13-year-old daughter, Mahum, instantly senses something evil about this visitor. Mahum is super observant. Her mom even calls her Madam Thinker. She looks at Zaina and immediately sees darkness, comparing people to matryoshka dolls with darker versions hidden inside. And how does Doshima handle this? She totally brushes off her daughter's profound insight, basically telling her she's just being mouthy and that Zaina is harmless.
As that fateful Sunday creeps closer, the tension in the house just skyrockets. We really have to ask, why is the youngest daughter suddenly having nightmares about a tall shadow cutting off her head? The vibe shifts from sunny and bright to incredibly ominous. The narrative is heavily signaling to us that Zaina's arrival wasn't a coincidence. And the kids, who are way more perceptive than the adults here, can literally feel the doom closing in.
The story is dropping huge, undeniable premonitions now. On Friday night, Ivram wakes up screaming. She describes this hyper-specific, terrifying dream. A tall shadow watching the house, coming into her room, grabbing her hair, and cutting off her head. It's gruesome. But once again, what does Doshima do? She fatally rationalizes away a perfectly accurate vision of her own child's impending doom. She blames it on the girls watching part of the horror movie Children of the Corn earlier that day. She just shushes the child back to sleep, completely ignoring the blaring alarm bells. Okay, so Sunday arrives, the setup under the trees in place. Doshima has Moom sit there to watch over Ivram while Zaina starts to plait her hair into a shuku, a traditional braided hump. Remember, Moom is the only one who doesn't trust Zaina, making her the perfect guard, but then Moom asks her mom if she can quickly use the restroom. Doshima says yes. That one super mundane decision springs the narrative trap, leaving a highly vulnerable little Ivram entirely alone with this mysterious figure.
Now the perspective abruptly shifts directly to Zaina. With the watchful sister gone, Zaina pulls out her tool, this long iron spike used to section hair. But as she looks down at Ivram, something just shatters inside her. Her heart starts pounding, her hands are violently shaking. Why? Because Ivram looks exactly like Fadimatu, whose little hands used to soothe her. Seeing this child triggers a massive, overwhelming wave of suppressed trauma for the Bororo woman.
And here is the twist that recontextualizes the whole shebang. We get pulled into Zeina's memory of an unpunished crime, the day she lost absolutely everything. Her daughter Fatimatu and Aunt Jara went to the market to sell furo denunu, a local fermented milk drink. When they didn't come back, a sick Zeina went searching, and what she found was a crowd around a blood-splashed car driven by a crying woman. Fatimatu and Zara had been crushed in a hit-and-run, and that crying woman? It was Doshima. Doshima used her money to pay off the cops, she paid off the courts, she literally bought her freedom, moved on, and entirely forgot about the little girl she killed.
We're left looking at the real consequences of that hit and run, a stark contrast between our two mothers that completely flips our understanding of who the true villain is here. On side A, we have Doshima. She used her wealth and privilege to bury her guilt, living a perfect life while entirely erasing the memory of the blood on her hands. Then on side B, we have Zainina. Time didn't heal her wounds. Her unacknowledged grief just festered. Those memories literally calcified into this obsessive, years-long plot to track Doshima down and exact her pound of flesh.
The layers of that Matryoshka doll are finally gone, bringing us to a horrific climax. Driven by the agonizing memory of her crushed daughter, Zeina doesn't hesitate for a second. The nightmare from Friday night comes true in the most brutal way you can imagine. Zeina takes that long iron spike and violently sinks it straight into little Ivram's skull. The resulting blood-curdling scream shatters that illusion of a perfect Sunday forever. Zeina extracts the ultimate unforgiving debt from the woman who destroyed her world.
Looking at the immediate aftermath of this vengeance, it's chillingly clear that getting revenge didn't bring Zeina any peace. It didn't bring her back to reality either. She violently pushes the child away. When the household and a crowd gather and start beating her, she doesn't feel a single blow. When the police van pulls up, she doesn't even register it's there. She's utterly detached from the present. In her mind, the vengeance didn't fix a thing. She's simply lost forever in the memory of the daughter she couldn't save, seeing only Fatimatu.
I'm going to leave you with this final haunting question. When the justice system is bought and sold, what is the true, inescapable price of burying your past? What this explainer really shows us is that a bought and paid for justice system doesn't actually erase a crime. No, it just transfers the burden of justice right into the hands of the grieving. When corruption lets you just walk away from a tragedy, can you ever truly escape the debt you owe, or is there always a shadow waiting patiently at your gate, ready to collect? Thank you for walking through this incredible narrative with me today.